In this video, I'm going to teach you what different types of triangles are. And there's 3 different types. Sorry that my handwriting is a little bit off. So, there's 3 different types, right? Well, what are those 3 different types and how can you tell them what type they are? Well, the easiest one to tell is probably an equilateral, so just gonna take that away. So, the easiest triangle is an equilateral. And sometimes if you're doing like tests or something, you might have like angles like E, F, D. And you might be thinking, well, what do these mean? Well, it means the angles. This is D, this is the angle D, this is angle E, and this is angle F. So if angle F equals an acute angle, and angle E is same, and continue. It's like an equilateral, has all acute angles. You can see acute angle right here. This is less than 90. So less than 90 degrees. Less than 90 degrees, right? And this is all less than 90 degrees, right? So, equilateral. So sometimes in tests, again, they have E, F, D, whatever. And sometimes they'll have like numbers here. Let's say let's 4. Again, 4. And here 4. Well, they're all equal, and that's why it's an equilateral. Equilateral. Spell that one. Equilateral. I think that's how you spell it. I don't know. So, anyway, an equilateral. That's why it has the word equal in there. Because all the sides and angles are equal. And an equilateral has a 60-degree angle, and they all have to equal 180. So 60 plus 60, and this is not an addition video, but 60, okay, plus 60 plus 60 equals what? Well, 0 plus 0 is 0. 6 plus 6, which is 12, plus another 6, which is, wait, 6 plus 6 is 12, plus another 6 is 18, so 18 degrees. There. So, all the angles and lengths of the side, the length of the side has to be equal for it to be an equilateral. It has to be equal. So this is an equilateral. Well, And again, they might have these numbers or maybe not. So if they don't, then I guess you have to see if they have the angle right here, like 60 degrees. Or maybe they're gonna have like, I don't know, maybe it's gonna be an isosceles or scalene, but who knows. So now that we know what an equilateral is, we can move on to an isosceles. And you might be thinking, well, they look the same. What's the difference? Well, an isosceles has to have two equal sides, so and one is not. So let's just erase. Let's just cut that. Okay. So let's say this is 2 and this is 2, but maybe this is 3. So and then again they have the angles E, F, D, but maybe not. And again, if you're having a test and they don't have these numbers, angles, anything, but they might have some, like right here, and right here. But these are all acutes. Again, I didn't draw a perfect isosceles, so not really an isosceles, but that doesn't matter. I mean, I might try to draw a perfect isosceles, but right now it's pretty hard. So anyway, so it has to have two sides equal. Okay. Yes. Do. Have two equal sides. So, as you can see, this has the isosceles has to have at least. Do not know why that popped up. The isosceles has to have two equal sides and two equal angles. So that means maybe this is 70 degrees. Maybe this is 70. And then this. This is 70 plus 70 is 140, so we did that. Why does that happen? I don't know why my mouse just goes big. So 0 plus 0 is 0. 7 plus 7, well, think about it this way. 3, so we take away 3 from the 7. So now this becomes, say that's really out, 7 plus 7 is 100, like, is 14. So, and the 4 here, 1 4 there, so 140. So if we need to get to 80 degrees, this all has to equal 80 degrees. Let's say 140 to equal to 180 and that should be 40. So this one should be 40. If it's a proper fraction, if it's a proper triangle, this one isn't, so this one is wrong. Okay, but it has two equal sides, two equal angles, 70 and 70, and it basically, this one angle, you can tell if it's an isosceles if you see and measure the angles. If you measure the sides with a ruler and measure the angles with a protractor, then yeah, you should maybe get isosceles or scalene. So now to our last and final triangle, a scalene triangle. Scalene triangle. Now just to tell you, none of these are equal. None of these angles are equal. This is a 90-degree angle. This is probably like 30. And this is probably like 15. So this is like a 15-degree angle right here. This is probably like a 30. So let me make that more like 30. 15 and 90 degrees angle. And again, like the angles aren't equal. So if the angles aren't equal, that has to mean the sides are not equal. And this all together has to equal, well, 180, but since I don't actually know what it is, because it can be different like angles, but like this, it has to equal, there's only two, but this, it has all three different. So this can be like a 4, this like a 6, and then this like, I don't know, 7. So this can be 7, 6, 4. Let me just write that right there. 6, 7, 4, 7, 6, and 4. And again, they have like these angle things. I'm not gonna talk about that too much because it might confuse people. But it's good to learn what they mean and stuff, though. Like, I didn't know what it meant until I actually I was using I just found it out, like, oh, these words must mean something, and then I just solved it. So yeah, I won't explain like in a video what they mean. Like, I might explain it, but it's not that important. But this has to have all different like sides and angles. And what I mean by angles, if you didn't mean by it, if you use a protractor, which is like this, it measures angles, and you can't use a ruler. You have to use a protractor to measure angles and what degrees they are. So what I mean by the angle, like if this is 30, and this is 30, isn't it? Oh, this is 30. That's a different, this is 30 degrees. That's a different angle because it's different than the 90 and 15 degrees. So if you don't get what I'm saying, you can check out better videos, but I tried to explain. But this is a scalene triangle, so you should know if this is a scalene triangle or not. It's a little bit confusing in there, and you can't see anything.